there, guys. This is Darwin back with another review. You might have seen that I've been missing, and I am celebrating. I just took the bar for 2 days, so I just finished the day, and I'm celebrating. So I'll be having a heady topper obviously after this, but we're talking about Lagunitas Imperial Red. This is a beer I believe they have not been making. I looked on Beer Advocate. I think they haven't made it for like a year or two, and so it's just hit the shelves. Definitely, just look out for it. And so this is an Imperial Red Ale that they've been brewing apparently since 1993, and not really my favorite style because it's a bit sweet. You know me, I like my clean hoppy beers, all delivery of hops, not much bready sweetness, but we'll see. So this beer comes in a dark red color, really red, obviously clear because Lagunitas filters their beers. So let's get the aroma on this. I get this kind of like neutral berry note, maybe like a cranberry or something. Such a weird note, but in general, it's a piney hops, resinous notes. Yeah, just like this kind of like oily, spicy, piney kind of hops. A bit of like caramel sweetness in there. Reminds me a bit of like some dankness that you also get from Lagunitas Something Extra. Talking about that berry note, really interesting stuff. I try to sit down and sort of review a beer, try to write down my thoughts about a beer, and then turn on the camera. And then I was actually doing that, and I got this berry note. It's really confusing. It's such a strange note to get from a hoppy beer. So I looked, I try to compare and contrast tasting notes and stuff. I actually went on Lagunitas' website, and they actually have someone talking about this beer. And he says he gets raspberry in this beer. So that was really interesting and like an awesome confirmation for me to sort of like, it's like, oh wow, I got that berry note too. And so that's a really great way to develop your palate. Sort of sit down, try to think about a beer, try to pick out what notes you can get, and then compare and contrast to people's other reviews written or other video reviews, obviously. And, just try to gain confidence in, people confirming what you find, and also maybe looking for notes that other people have found and you haven't found in a beer. But, so let's dig in this beer. Wow, okay. Wow, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Maine Beer Company's Zoe. That beer, by the way, is actually, I think, one of Maine Beer Company's best beers. You might know Maine Beer Company for their lunch, but I think another one and, what was their other hoppy? Whatever. Another one and Zoe, I think, are the two of their best beers. And, actually, no. Their porter's really good, and also their black IPA. So anyway, just get some Maine Beer Company beers. They're really good. But this beer is definitely, obviously, much more accessible than Maine Beer Company. This beer is similar to that. What this beer has is this kind of big, piney, resinous note. Don't expect fruity hops in here. You get that sort of berry kind of fruit note in the front, but in general, you're rushed with like green pine, earthiness. You get a bit of sweetness in the middle, but the mid palate is awesome. Really nice and clean. A beautiful thing that Lagunitas has a theme in their beers. Not any sticky sweetness in the middle. Just a bit of sweetness, and it's not really bready. It just transitions very well, and then it goes on to bitterness. This is a heavy bitterness beer on the back end. On the back end, it's like oily, resinous notes, earthy, really bitter stuff. Not exactly up my alley, but that front palate's really quite nice. Hints of fruit, hints of like a grapefruit peel maybe, a bit of caramel sweetness, but then it gets really piney and resiny on that back end. It really does remind me of Zoe. Wow, that's really interesting. But yeah, so maybe Maine Beer Company was trying to like replicate that beer when they replicate this beer. But anyway, this beer for me is a 90. It's a really well-made beer, not exactly up my alley because of the hop profile, but it is well-made. Good beer is good beer. I mean, it's rich in this piney, spicy, oily, resinous kind of hops. If you like your fruity IPAs, maybe this is not the best for you, but it is still good beer. And Lagunitas is doing very well this year. I've reviewed a bunch of their beers this year, and they've really been killing it. So until next time, guys, cheers. I'll be celebrating being done with law school and the bar. So until next time, guys, cheers later. Comment later.